For many of us longtime fans, we first fell in love with Pokemon back in the Game Boy era. The days of gray tones and the simplest of bleeps and bloops were more than enough to captivate our imagination, draining hundreds of hours exploring the region of Kanto and catching every Pokemon we could find. And while Fire Red and Leaf Green gave a facelift to the classics, the upcoming release of Let's Go is something many of us have been salivating for as long as we can remember. Experiencing Kanto in a beautiful 3D world filled with vibrant colors and wonderful music is something we've always dreamed of, and is now only a short wait away from becoming a reality. So, in honor of Pokemon Let's Go's upcoming release, I've compiled a list of the top 5 places I'm most excited to revisit in Pokemon Let's Go. So, let's go. While we've seen a ton of footage from Viridian Forest, it still remains one of my most anticipated places to explore. Why? Well, that's because of how exciting it was to explore back in the day. It was the first real test as a Pokemon trainer, stepping into the dark and scary unknown, filled with both Pokemon to catch and opposing trainers to battle. And while it doesn't take long to get through, I still fondly remember spending way too much time looking for the elusive Pikachu to pop up. Dang you, Metapod. Formerly known as the abandoned power plant, but now simply the power plant. This was both parts exciting and frightening as a little kid. Being abandoned for years and now filled with electric-type Pokemon was enough to set my young mind racing, not knowing exactly what to expect, but the promise of one of the legendary birds kept me pushing forward. It also just happens to be my favorite of the trio, Zapdos. Mix in some Electrodes and a chance at an Electabuzz, and there was plenty to do within these abandoned walls. Who doesn't remember the good old SS Anne? The luxury cruise liner which sets sail across the world makes its annual stop at the port in Vermilion City. Getting aboard required tracking down the SS ticket, making it all the more exciting upon finally boarding. While being dubbed a luxury cruise, due to the Game Boy's limited capability, it doesn't feel too glamorous at all. But seeing what Nintendo does to spruce it up will certainly be exciting in Let's Go. I wonder if the ship will once again be filled with brute sailors, or if they'll look a little more friendly towards their likely high-paying guests. Originally known as the Rocket Game Corner, the once casino is now dubbed an arcade in Let's Go, but that doesn't change my desire to jump back into the fun. Who didn't spend hours trying to hit it big on the slot machines so you could redeem a Dratini or a Porygon, or maybe even one of those sweet TMs? While I'm excited to see what the arcade itself looks like, it'll be even more fun to dive into the secret hideout of Team Rocket. Seeing the seedy underbelly of the already controversial casino was definitely something that stuck with me as a kid. But even with its rebranding in Let's Go, it'll always be the playground for grown-ups to me. Pokemon Tower, causing children's nightmares worldwide since 1996. What could be more spooky than a 7-story tall tower filled with hundreds of deceased Pokemon graves? Absolutely nothing. Well, except for the music that accompanies it. I get a shiver down my spine just thinking about it. But seriously, while this might be an obvious pick to be on the list, it is a deserving one at that. Of the limited footage from Let's Go, it is shown enough to set the stage for another creepy romp through the tower. I'm a big fan of eerie atmospheres, and everything surrounding the tower is just that. And thus, it stands tall as the #1 place I'm most excited to revisit. Thanks everyone for checking out the video. This is just one man's top 5, but we want to hear where you're most excited to revisit. So post in the comments below and make sure to keep it locked here for more Pokemon Let's Go coverage.